Why, hello there. Here we are again, and we're trying another game. This is Nightingale, and I have played a little bit of it. I sort of am aware of the building and all that, so let's get started from the very beginning. Once you create a character, you end up at this screen. Character creation takes a little bit of time if you really care what your character looks like. Mine sort of looks weird, but that's okay. We're gonna have a good time with it anyway. And this is the starting screens. I highly recommend that you get to know what different keys work for you. So the best way to do that is to go right here into Escape. And if you look up here, you will see that there are key bindings sit right here. So click on that and find out. Obviously, your forward, backward, left, and right are your WSAD keys. Look up are your arrow keys. Look left, look right are your arrow keys. Your cap locks will give you an auto run. You have a dodge of your left control. A space will cause you to jump. The right shift will cause you to sprint. And so that's how you figure out, and that's if you're playing PC. If you're playing Xbox, the Xbox keys are over here. Okay? So you have all the different kinds of, and it's important that you learn what those are because you're going to need most of these to do some of the things that you need to do. Okay? So that gives you an idea. You also have your system settings in here. So this is like when you want to quit or report a bug or you're stuck or something. Your audio stuff is all in here. So if you want to change headphones or, you know, do a push to talk or something else, I'm not sure how much of that actually works. But they are still looking for people to write them up when they find a bug. Video is in here, so whatever you're playing, you can enable blur or turn it off or, you know, whatever you feel you need to do in order to see. You've got a good field of view. You've got your third person field of view, which could be different than your regular field of view. You can do a different calibration for your gamma if you want. Gameplay's in here. Different things here. Automatically hide the HUD. That's experimental, so I don't use it yet. Enable toggle sprint. Yeah, no, thanks. Actually, you probably ought to do that. Then I'd have to find the toggle sprint. So sprint is my left shift key, I believe. So that'll turn it on and off, and I have to turn it on and off. Not sure I like that. I am going to turn that back off because if I hold down the toggle, or if I hold down that key, it'll run. I generally don't. I'm okay holding that down. Anyway, beyond that, all of that stuff that's up here, in this area here, you also have some pretty important pieces. So inventory, otherwise known as your I key, can be grabbed here. Whatever tools that you're holding or whatever can be repaired here as long as you're close to your workbench. You'll see that this is what my backpack is carrying, and I have a 100-pound weight limit here, and I'm currently carrying 3.76 pounds. I don't have any realm cards. They don't weigh anything. I don't have any essences, which is the same thing as money. They don't weigh anything. I do have food. What I have is a slight health potion. That's it. And I don't have any calling cards of anybody. Calling cards are people to help that are in the game. They're NTCs that help you in the game if you need them. This tells you what your player status is like, and there's a lot of things to consider, or you can just play and then look at this stuff as you go instead of me trying to explain it. Progression is a place where you go to learn how to build things. Some of this stuff is free once you get in the game, but we're not even in the game yet. Okay? Journal will tell you what you've done, what your tasks are, what your side tasks are, and what you've completed. Also show you a map. Got to go through the portal first. It'll tell you what your challenges are, and these you click open. Okay? Guidebooks will tell you how to make things. Social, I'm not sure that's quite fixed yet, although I have played with other players. So it does work. You just have to have a real beefy computer to be able to stand as the server. And then you have subtitles and stuff like that in here, should you choose to want to see it. I'll go ahead and turn those on for us. So that's where I came in. And if you look around, you see that there's lots of sort of stuff around, but there's no, I don't even have any tools. So I'm just sort of looking around on the ground, and over here I see a white ball. I'm gonna grab at it. I got that, and that was an essence. And now if you look in your eye and you go right here, there's one here, one essence. So we made 1 coin. Now we sort of have to keep moving here because we don't have unlimited amounts of food and stuff. So we released a hope echo. That's fine. What else might we find here? Here's something with a handle on it. No, that's not. Oh, look, here's something. There's an axe. Okay, so what do you do with the axe? Well, it makes sense to me that you beat up the fence. Pick up some wood. If you hold down your E key, it will pick this stuff up for you.
How now, fleshling? Whither wander you, lost in our Feywilds?
Uh-oh.
Show haste, human. Quickly, before those bound fiends sniff out your disk. Shadows abound, yet like a fire's final embers, you refuse to be snuffed out. I come with an offer to guide you to a safer realm and rebuke death, unlike so many of your kin. Oh, under this mask, you wonder. I am Puck. Robin to some, Oberon's merry wanderer of the night, the last furtive fae to grace your kind. Now, take this blood-stained card that you might travel swiftly to the realm of abeyance. Give me your hands, that we may be friends, and I shall restore amends. Amosit inconul ome. Across the divide, greater gifts await. Partnerships with we Fae afford many wonders yet unseen. Hurry yonder, toward portal and apparatus, so you, bare child of Earth, might abscond this nightmare.
So you have to place this card and open the portal.
Fly, Realm Walker. The fiends have caught your despairing stench.
So I just jumped into the portal
Your path forward is winding and full of
and didn't have to
terrors.
fight them.
Save yourself. Survive the realms. And rebuild all that has been lost. Count thyself among the fortunate few who manage to flee the foul pale. Nightingale still stands, but Earth teeters on the brink, and these wilds are far from hospitable. Sequestered so, and struck by woe, begs the question, wilt thou be a survivor? Find your bearings and acquaint yourself with this realm. Long has it been left in limbo, not unlike you. Though this dismal landscape bears few reminders of its esteemed past, it need not remain so. One final card I give to thee. Play it yonder, at the center of this ancient crossway, and lift the veil of darkness to usher in a new dawn.
So some of these cards you have to take from him, and some of them he just gives them to you. You have to look at the written thing that's in front of you on the screen to see if you actually have to click on some. So now you walk up here and you tell it you want to play the realm card. Well, this is... it decreases your stealth, Forsworn Skies. So it's a cleansing card, and what it does is it cleans the place that you're going into. This is the one that's there, and this is going to clean up whatever this one does. So you're going to drop it in there and apply it, and then step back and watch. And as you see, it puts it back together the way it should have been. It cleaned up whatever the nasty thing was here. There's no real anything showing here, so what you have to do is follow the one that's open. So that's this is the leading thing, and it's called the Abeyance, and this is where you will learn about how to play the game. So don't be afraid of it. Just get out there and whack on things with your axe, and whoops, I tried to walk through a puck.
Now that has made a difference. Quite the mechanism indeed. But you needn't fret over the lofty particulars just yet. More immediate concerns are at hand. The realm you've now cleansed was once the center of the Empyrean network. Long ago, it allowed lesser fae and fleshlings to travel the wilds with ease and accuracy. Though the path onward is presently dormant, it did not meet the same ruinous fate as your human-made network. There is yet a way to reignite these portals, and once thou hast proven thyself ready, I shall lead thee to it. One of my promised gifts should help your cause. A hermetic guidebook and pocket watch, purloined off the corpse of a realm walker. Keep these like close companions as you steel yourself. There is much to do before thy survival is assured.
Okay, so now if you hit P on your, like in Paul, it's going to take you to the progression screen where you can find all of the others. The journal, which tells you that you have accepted a quest. Find a wood axe, find a hunting knife, find a pick, and find an immolation. And that's a spell. Okay. So it's already set to track it. So it'll tell you when it's done and it'll move it to a completed quest once it is complete. Okay, then the guidebook tells you how to get different things. It's like a recipe book for different stuff that you need. Okay, so tools and axes, you already have a tier 1 axe. If you need to make another one, it tells you these are the benches that you need to craft in order to get this simple axe built. Okay? So that's what this is going to do for you, is it's going to give you all of those things that you need to know. So then you can also get the codex, which are the different cards that you can play. Okay? So we're going to close that. We have up on the upper right-hand corner, we have, here's all the stuff here, the tools of the trade. We need to find a wood axe. Well, we have one of those already. So we need to find a hunting knife. And I really want you to look, when you come through this, is really take a look around you, because this is really, graphically, is an amazing game. So we're just going to take a little wander down here. And anything that comes at me, I'm just whacking at it with an axe. It's an old rusty, well, it's actually a wooden axe, but it'll work in a pinch. So while I'm walking along, I notice this little structure over here, and I see this little glint of almost smoke. And I come up here, and I look and I see, oh, look, there's a simple hunting knife. There's part of my quest. Alright, so I'm going to look around a little bit more. Oh, whatever that was, I just collected that. I'm going to hit this with my axe. Oh, there's some wood. Again, hold down the E key, and it'll pick up anything that's all of the, whatever's right within your area. Okay, so there's lots of stuff here that we can pick up. We can cut some trees down if we want to. I don't really want to carry a whole lot of heavy stuff yet. Might need some this, because these are sticks and these are berries. So it's never a bad thing to collect things that you could need to eat or think about things to make fires with. So sticks, rocks, stones, wood when it's available to you. Look around a little bit. Now it's going to tell you everything in this area right here. Almost all this stuff can be collected. Here's the thing though, you have a weight limit. So don't get too crazy with collecting things that you don't absolutely know you need. Oh, there's another one of those little smoke gadgets. And by the way, it's raining, and when it rains, if you're not underneath something, you're going to get wet, and when you get wet, you get hurt. There's a cured meat stick. So now if we look in our inventory again and go into this little thing, you're going to see that, oh, we've picked up some things. Now the fastest way to get to those things is to hold down your Q. And look at there. There are all those things, and this is what we just picked up. This is cured meat. Now, don't eat till you think you have to. Alright, so we're going to keep going down here, and we're going to collect some more sticks and look around for anything else that we might think we might need here. I don't see anything else. I'm going to step down here. Oh wait, that was a pick, wasn't it? I forgot something up here. Shouldn't have left the pick. When I picked up the pick, again, look around, because what you're going to find when you picked up that pick, see that right there? See the little cross thing here right in the dead center? That's telling you you can use that pick that you just picked up on this rock. So we're going to beat on this rock a little bit. And we're going to pick up those rocks, and look, there's another smoky item right there. It's a torch. And there's a chest. Let's grab all that. Okay, so what's in the chest is some sandstone that we just beat up. Here's some bound fiber. Here's some ore, tin. Here's some more, here's some plant fiber. Here's all those sticks we were picking up. And this right here is a charm of fervor. It restores stamina after killing a creature. Okay, you don't have to do anything with it. If you don't want number 8 on there, all you got to do is choose number 9, and that'll get rid of that torch, so you're not using it up. Alright, I'm going to get out my axe, my pick again, and pick some more of this rock, because you can always use more rock. Pick all that up. Check around, because you might, you might be able to take this stuff with you or something. I'm going to go back to my axe and continue down the road. So now at any point down here, you may find something that you can pick. So at first, it's really a good idea to just point at everything. And as I go, I will explain stuff, but I'm going to sort of shut up for a minute and let you just follow along. It's one of those glowing things. So this is the story, or somebody's story, parts of stories. Keep looking. There's the immolation, and now we've completed that quest that he gave us to start with. And here's something else we can collect. And all these little boxes and stuff, everything that's in here. Some of them won't break, but some of them will. So it's never a bad idea. Just go ahead and take what you can. Now I'm gonna continue up this path right here. But if you hit M, you're gonna get a map. And you're gonna see where you are, where you've come from, and what are the closest things to you. There's one across the river, and there's a bunch of them right here. This right here is a Bastille of Intellect. It's an encounter. And this one back here is an infestation. This is a fight. There's an infestation here. That's a fight. There's also a treasured item there. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go up past the puzzle. That's what that one over there is a puzzle. And we're going to go up past the puzzle and go to that first infestation so that we can try out what we're doing. The Bastilles are, like I said, they're puzzles. So I'll explain that as we go. Just wander up here. I'm going to look around a bit. Oh, I see some more stuff here. Look at there. There's a bow. There's throwing knives. There's arrows. Right here is some meats. And there may be some danger in here, so I'm going to take my axe. There's some wheat flour. Run up here. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I'm hearing noises coming out of right in here. Oh! There's bad guys. Thank you. This guy's throwing little bombs. Alright, so we picked up all that, pretty much all of it. Get the rest of it here. And every time you have an encounter like that, you're going to find at the end of the rainbow one of these little golden balls. And you want to grab that too, because that's money. Now, we have a bow and arrow. And that's a good thing. Now, before things get too weird, we need to go back to the other side of the river before it gets dark. But before we do that, we're going to do this puzzle up here. And for this puzzle, or for most of the puzzles, you're going to need a bow and arrow, because some of this stuff you can't easily reach. This is the best way to do it, is to use a bow and arrow. So what's going to happen here is you're going to listen and watch for 1, 2, 3, which in this case it's 1, 2, 3. So 1, so where's 2? There's 2. 2, 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our bow. One, 2, 3. And what that's done is that's fixed it so that if you can figure out how to get up there, you can get them. Now, if you look on your map, you'll see this one was completed, as does that one. Okay, so now we need to go back down and cross the river. There's quests available here, and there's a settlement. Okay, we're gonna have to get down off of this thing again. You don't want to fall too far, because if you do, you'll hurt yourself. So now we're going to run down here and go to a place where we can call it a day. And keep in mind that if you look down there now, you're going to see deer, and they're going to scatter because they see you. So if you tuck down like this, get your bow out and crawl into the grass, they may calm down and go back over where they were at. So the idea of the game is to go to everything that's on the map and figure out what it's for. You may not get any more meat. Let's see those little white things floating around down there. You just hit one of the sets of them. So Gonna run down and pick those up. Now if you look, there's the bridge. Get some rocks. I always use my axe because my axe is much better at taking down animals than, say, a knife or something like that. I'm gonna come down here. More rocks. Launches launches a ball of fire that detonates on impact, dealing fire damage and lighting creatures on fire in an area. Can be charged. So what I want to do is apply this to my axe. And now it's enchanted my axe. And I have a sneaking suspicion something's coming. So I'm gonna eat a piece of meat and drink a stamina potion and drink a health potion. See the red dot? That means that there's enemies there. So we're gonna come running in here and kill this heart. So now I've killed them all. And there's the essence. And also there's a sword. So we'll pick that up. And here over here is our friend George. And George is available. We can get a card from George and call for his help. Okay. And you can get a calling card by doing this. You can recruit him as a companion. Or you can play him a card game. I don't have any cards to play him with, so I'm going to recruit him as a companion. And say, let's be off. And then we've created a fellowship. But it's getting on night, and you'll notice that now the tower is turned blue. And that makes a huge difference. But what we want to do is get someplace where we're safe. So if you walk into this, you'll look down and see this is a big sort of a cave. And could be something that's valuable in one of these little rooms. Ah, looky here. I'm going to take these, and that's a fiber, and this is another charm. So is this. After hitting a creature's weak point. So I get out of the box, and then I go into my inventory and see if I have to wear this or what do I have to do. So I'm going to, it says apply. So read about it. Restores stamina after hitting a creature's weak point. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, well, let's apply this to maybe our bow. Or I don't think we can put another one on here. We have, it looks like we have throwing knives though. I think I'll put it on the sword. I'm not much of a using the sword, but I am, see, notice my axe is starting to get weak, so what I need to do is repair it. And all you have to do is hit it one time and it repairs everything you're holding. So we have all kinds of stuff in here. We don't know what most of it's for. That's a wick, so are those. These are arrows. That's that fiber stuff that we had from before. Now we've also picked up some sulfuric gunpowder. Here's some more fiber. Here's some rocks and sticks and stone and wood. We got all kinds of stuff. So the idea is to search these places for any stuff that might be helpful to us. So it's not a bad idea to sort of search through some of these. Just to look around a little bit, see if there's anything extra there that you could use. Here's another guy. We'll speak with Henry. I could use hired hand at my realm, so I'd be honored to accompany you. Here's my calling card. Play it, and I'll be there. You take the calling card, and then in your inventory, with the little head here, there's a calling card for Henry. So all you have to do is click on it, and it'll call him, and he'll come right to you. Now, the other guy, we have him following us. And what we're doing here is we're looking for supplies, any kind of supplies that we could use. And if you look, there's all kinds of stuff down here. There's mushrooms. There's sticks. There's berries. There's more mushrooms. Weird looking stuff. Okay, we can climb up out of here and look around. There's a lady here with a little exclamation mark over her head. So we're going to speak with her. In case you can't read that, because it's very possible that you can't. This is Wilhelmina Saucy. She said, I suspected that we might be the only fine souls in this realm, but your appearance is a most welcome surprise indeed. Who might you be besides the savior of our little band? And then you have the ability to answer with different things. Excuse me. I plied a trade before the calamity. Now I find myself a refugee. I'm not in the habit of divulging such information to a stranger. You're speaking with a realm walker extraordinaire. Okay, so I'm just going to be pretty honest. And she says, a refreshingly useful skill set next to the many dignitaries and bureaucrats escaping our earthly disaster, though I do enjoy the scandal they bring. There are a great many new faces in the realms as of late, with a great many stories to tell. Collecting such stories is my trade, you see. Wilhelmina, sassy columnist for Nightingale's finest paper, the Sunday Courier, overjoyed to make your acquaintance. Now, if you're in need of more material services, nourishment, equipment, protection, I'm certain my companion here can provide. We've always time for a new customer. So, the one that they're recommending is this little flag here. Okay? So, you're asking her if she's heard any rumors. Always something particular you're looking for. And I answer, do you know of anyone who could lead me to Nightingale? She says, perhaps it seems there are a great many of your fellow realm walkers about, diving from their Nightingale headquarters to realms as near as Sylvain's cradle. I met one Aurelio Ortega as I passed through, and for a man of his years to survive the profession, he must have some level of skill or luck. Of course, I've no doubt the man was mad, gold sickness. It had he and his traveling companions so enraptured that they dismissed my politest inquiries outright. Okay, so that's all I have for now. Okay, so then we're going to go over here and speak with this person. Well, this person is a trader, and you have to have a lot of money to work with the traders. And if you look at just the miscellaneous things like a axe, it's going to cost you 70, and you only have 107. So I would not buy any resources from this person at all, not anything, because you can hunt. You have the ability to do that. You can pick berries up off the ground and cook them, and it should not cost you 120 by any stretch of the imagination. All you need is a cooking space. Okay, so we picked up all the berries and stuff from over there, but guess what? There's a whole rock of berries right here. And nobody said you couldn't have them, so just get what you can get. So here's a cooking fire. But there's also one over there. And what we want to try to do is look and see if that cooking fire that cooking fire has something sitting up against it. That's a simple pack. And what that simple pack has done for us it's not increased what we can carry, and we have 74 pounds of stuff. Let's look and see what this guy has to take, because he's also got that little exclamation mark. Groans quickly. Every time I take a gander, another one is larking about. If I didn't know better, I ought to think you earth lubbers are hatching down here. And I'm going to say, apologies, sir. I didn't mean to trespass on your home. Groans. Bloody heavens, stop looking like a kicked pup. You can forgive the lack of tact. I've seen more folks these last weeks than the past 2 decades combined. Truth is, I claim no finder's rights over this hovel. You lot can tear it down for all I care. Soon enough, I'll be back in the wild's embrace. Do you have any wisdom to share with an earth lubber like me? Not the kind you want, I reckon. I've seen plenty of moonstruck blokes stuffed with powder and steel meet their end without catching even a whiff of adventure. Before you go chasing for trouble, you ought to have mastered the basics. I'll be glad for whatever advice you can provide. Have you ever cooked a proper meal yet? Not the frilly dinners from your soirees. Around here, what you can find is what will do. You can fill your guts eating the same grub day in and day out, but if you plan on standing a chance against the beasts and the bound, variety will make you stronger. Go on, help yourself to my campfire. Some warm food will do you good before you hit the road. I said, I suppose it can't hurt. Now here comes the quest. Now, if this sort of exchange is to become a habit, we might well be made proper acquaintances. Graham Turner, the name. I wish you luck on your travels, Walker. I'll be round if you still have need of me. And he just gave you a quest of a hearty meal. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk up to this fire and you're going to inspect it. There's no augments on it or anything, so it's just a basic fire. So you're going to craft something. Well, it wants fuel. So the first thing you got to do is add some fuel. So you say wood bundles and you throw them in there. Maybe 4 or 5 pieces is all it really needs. You don't have any meats, so you're going to have to do mixed plants. Put some mushrooms in there. Yourself about 10 of them. Okay. Now it's become night. Maybe. No, not yet. It hasn't. So what we could probably do is we could probably go up and get some meat. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Because without meat, we're not going to do so well. Look out here and see what it's like. Yeah, there's still sort of. One. Georgie, did you pick it up? Allowed, allowed, allowed. Revive. Pick up items. Yeah, he's probably got it. So what we'll do is look in his inventory. These are his clothes. So he didn't pick that up. So somewhere over here. Oh, there it is. Get out our hunting knife. And we pick up the prey stuff. Now, there are undoubtedly more animals, so let's go see if we can find a few, shall we? Yeah, definitely gonna need more than one piece of meat. I'm hearing wolves. Okay. Too much of anything else around here. There's wolves, though. I know I did. So here we go. Wandering through the woods. More sticks. More logs. This is sort of the back side of that cave. Oh, there's some right there. Okay, action needed. Yeah, that hurt. Okay. So he picked up some of it, but he doesn't eat. We don't have to worry about him. So we can go into his inventory and say, yeah, first of all, you don't get to keep the money. Second of all, you don't get to keep the meat. But you can keep bones, more bones. You can keep hides and more hides. You can keep gems. You can keep rocks. Oh, I actually put this on. I equip. Maximum weight limit 50. Let's stop talking to George now. If your backpack is getting too heavy, you can hold storage structures. Like, yeah, okay. So what I want to do is look at, this is what I'm carrying right now. And it still allows me 100 pounds. Yeah. It's 100 pounds. So we need to go back to the, to this place over here and cook this meat for me. I'm half starving here. I'm doing the Marvin routine. So I need to go and cook this stuff and go to sleep. Because the sun's going down and we don't want to be outside at night. Something tells me you don't want to be outside at night. We can also look around these little areas here, see if there's anything else that we can use. Sometimes there's stuff up on these. Nothing there. Okay. Anything there or there either. Call it a day. So in here we are safe. from any creatures or anything that's out there. And as you can see, it started getting dark in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this little fire and use it for our own. I'm going to craft items. First, we're going to put some wood in it. We'll go ahead and put about 7 or so in there. And then we're going to get some roasted meat. And we have 4 pieces of predator. Cook that. 2 pieces of prey. 3 pieces of predator. So we'll get all that in there. Never eat before you go to sleep, because when you wake up every morning, you will be hungry. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. And if you climb up on this rock right here, there's a nice sort of quiet little bed. We're going to go in here and we're going to tell it to wake us up till dawn, at dawn. And this is the difficulty, how bad or how hard the game is. Explorer's the first level, and it's completely up to you how you want to play that part of it. I prefer stuff that's not terribly difficult to do. Okay, so now we woke up the next morning, and you can see that our food resources are down, so I'm going to hit Q and hold it down. Excuse me, hit Q and hold it down. I'm going to look through our stuff here, and I don't see anything that I really want to eat. So what I'm going to do is go into my inventory and say, okay, I want to trade some stuff out here. Because a health potion I'm going to need when I'm in trouble. I need meat. I need... got a whole bunch of mushrooms and shiitake. Ooh, oh, yum. That in there. I made some berry stuff. Those are flowers. That's a stamina potion. There's some meat that's cured meat. In order to do that, we have to have lots of salt. We don't have lots of salt. We have some refined flour. Flour's not really food. Berries are food. They're portobellos, dude. Those are the nice mushrooms. So for now, I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to put this stamina potion in here too. Just for the time being. Now I'm going to hit repair all and repair my tools. And then I'm going to go into that queue again, and now you're going to see those foods. So there's one. There's one. These are all different kinds of foods. There's one. There's one. Okay. So new unlock available. Claim the injury salve recipe in the progressive menu. So now it's telling you that the progressive menu is available to you. I'm going to eat one of those. Man, that's probably enough. Hit P. And if you open this up, now you're going to see that there are a bunch of things in here that are free to you. So if you hit that, it says you can learn that for free. So I'm gonna. And if you hit this, it says you can learn that for free. So now is the time for you to do that. Go through these, and if there's things for you to learn free, learn them. That's 5. That's 5. That's 5. 5. 5. So go through all of these to see if there's any here that you can learn for free. And then you can figure out as you go what are going to be more important for you to learn. Okay, so all of these cost money. So I've learned all the free ones in here. So let's click on the refinements and learn the free ones in here. There's no free there. That's 10 points. Okay, that's another 10 points. 10 points. Money, $10. 10 coins. Okay, so all of these have coins for you to start them. So we're not going to do those. So we're going to go into tools, and we've already learned something. That one's free. That's the simple pick. That one's free. That's the knife we already have in our hand. That one you got to learn for 25. Those are climbing. This one we can learn free because we already have it. Training dummies cost 10. 25. 25. Learn for free. Learn for free. So it doesn't look like there's any more here. That you get to learn for free. Okay, but we've learned the ones that you can. So the easiest way to tell that is see the colored thing that's going on here, and then look for the colored thing. That's the free one. This one's a free one because I already have them. This one came with it. This is a simple clothing set. Okay. So there's no more left in here because it's not making the colors anymore. So now we go to the next one. Zoomable. So this one's free. That's a salve to help you when you're injured. So continue down the line and see if there's anything else that is glowing that green color. There isn't. So the next one we go to is here. We get simple enchanter's focus. We get this one. That's it there. So all of these are going to cost us money. It's only $5 to learn how to use a crude foundation with wood, but it's only 5, but we only have 114. So the question then becomes, do we really need that, or can we stay right where we are? Uh-oh. Yes. Thanks, Mom. I'm sleeping. All right. Okay, so now we have learned a salve that will help us. So what we have to do is come down here to the fire and go craft an item, injury salve. And we have to make that with fiber, and we have lots of fiber. So we can make like, see it it takes 4 to make 4. So we'd want to make like, so let's make 20 of it. And so you just stand here with it and wait for it to make. Or you can just back away and it will give you what it's already made and continue to make, and then it'll show that little glowy, smoky thing that you've seen before. And so now what we have is in our inventory in here, because it's considered a food, there are actually 5 of them in here. That's all it gave us. So what we want to do is take down one of these things, like this health potion, for example, and put this injury salve in here. So it helps heal us. Okay, again, I'm going to repair all. And then you and me and Buddy are going to go looking for some more stuff. Now, the thing is that we probably want to, well, let's see. Let's see what I can give him to carry. Okay, he has a limit too, but just the number of things. So we want to try and give him as many of the heavy things as we can do. Okay, so rocks, stones, or wood. This will cause him to pick them up. I can probably put this backpack on him. Maybe not. Right, so now another thing that we can do for him is we can give him, if I want him to have this sword, he's already got an axe. I think he's got an axe. What are you carrying, brother? You're carrying a knife. Let's give you a sword so you can fight with the sword. Okay, and then there you go. Now he's equipped with a sword, so he can help me fight instead of slashing him with a knife. So that, folks, is our first night in Nightingale. I appreciate you joining me. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. I hope to see you next time. Till then, I appreciate that you came by to watch. Sadly, our time together is at its end for today. If you've enjoyed yourself, hit those subscribe, like, and share buttons to follow my Nightingale adventures. It's free, and it helps me to introduce myself to others. If you have comments or questions about what you've seen today, leave them in the comment section. Remember, kids read this, so be kind. See ya.